Okay, so I think today's lab is about Nmap formatting. This is the first lab that you'll have to do. I know you guys have worked with the Nmap before as well. So all you need to do is to extend it further. So here you can see that you have to perform an aggressive scan, and then the results that you have, you basically need to convert it into these formats. And then you will zip it in a folder. You will rename the folder with your name and then upload it. So there's nothing new here, except that you just need to learn how to save the output into different formats like JSON, like CSV, XML. So it's a pretty simple lab. For converting, let me just see. So for converting, where is it? First of all, in order to save it in the XML format, you can actually use the option of -OX in the Nmap, and then you can use this script to convert it into JSON and CSV. For that, you need to actually download this script. I'm going to share this in the Discord channel. So we have okay, so you will download it in the Linux, this script, and then use this script to, you can see the command which is given here if you want to convert the XML to the CSV, and also you can convert it into I think from XML to JSON as well. Like I said, it's a pretty straightforward lab, except that you just need to download the script. Okay, so I think you have already worked with the Nmap before. So all you need to do is that you need to have another virtual machine running, and then you will use the -A option. Whatever output you have, you can save it by using -OX. So Nmap, for example, -A, -O, and then capital X, and then let's just say I'm scanning now. 92. I think you need to give the file name, so I will say Nmap dash XML 168.36. It's going to take some time because it's an aggressive scan, so I don't want to use aggressive. This is just for the demo purposes. I'm just going to use -ST to make it fast. Yeah, so let's see. So as you can see now, I have an XML file that is created, nmap-xml. If I just write cat, so you can see that it has been stored as an XML file. So this is the first format that you have to do. The second one is that you need to download the script. This is the script. So you will just simply copy. The link is already shared there. Clear the screen. So git clone. And then this is the script. Once you have the script, you can go to its directory. And you can see that there is XML to CSV and CSV to XML. The JSON is, I think it's not there, but you can look for a JSON script as well on Google and do it on your own. The only thing you need to do in this file is that if you are trying to convert this XML to the CSV format, you are going to use this script. And in order to use this script, I think you guys already know, as you can see, this is in white color, basically, which means it is not executable. So in order to make it executable, you just need to change the permissions of the file by using chmod +x and then the file name. All right, so once you change it, you can see the color is different now, and now you can use this script. Go back to the tutorial and use this command to convert the file into the CSV format, XML file that you have here into the CSV. This is the lab that you have to do, so for that you have to submit it on the platform. Okay. All right. Now for the optional lab, I have something else for you guys. There is a tool called Maltego. So I'm just going to demonstrate Maltego that you can do. It's a very interesting tool because you are studying footprinting, and basically enumeration is a completely different topic. It actually comes after the scanning part. Once you're done with the footprinting and reconnaissance, then you have the scanning, and then is there the enumeration part. Anyways, there are different books saying different definitions about the same topic, but enumeration is probably the third stage before you actually start exploitation. However, if we consider the enumeration as this reconnaissance or footprinting, basically, which means that you're trying to gather information about the target, and you can do active footprinting, or you can do passive footprinting. So for that purpose, I'm just going to introduce a new tool to you, which is very interesting, and I really like it personally, and it's actually used by most of the professional organizations as well. So it's called Maltego. I don't know if you have used it before. However, if you want to install, it's not there by default. So apt install Maltego. You guys are listening to me or no?
Yeah, you're loud and clear.
Yeah, we listen to you.
Unable to fetch some archives. Why? apt-get update. Sorry. Actually, there are like, if you want to do footprinting or recon, there are hundreds of tools that are out there. Like there is recon-ng, the harvester. I think you guys have used it. There is NS lookup. There is DNS dumpster. There are very, long list of the tools. So I'll just try to do it one more time. So you can see sometimes this update, it's kind of necessary because maybe the packages sometimes are not installed unless you update it. So once you have Maltego, for example, you can go here to the start and write Maltego. Okay, as you can see it here on the top with the 3 dots. So once you have the Maltego, you can see that there are different versions available. Maltego 1, commercial, Excel commercial, classic commercial. This is the one which is free, Maltego CE Community Edition. And this is also free. So we are going to use the Maltego Community Edition for this lab. So if I click this one, you have to accept Next. So the only thing you have to do is go to the Maltego website and register it, or you can register it through this interface as well. So I'm just going to provide my credentials. Okay. 31. Next, captcha failed. Okay. Maybe I had to give a space or something.
No, it was 7, not 1, the last number.
Oh, okay. Now it's fine, right? GPKP.
Yeah.
All right.
I honestly prefer Maltego because the interface, I mean, is very user friendly.
Yeah, and then you get all the information within this tool. I mean, you can just use the APIs that they have.
Yeah.
So next, next, next. So you can choose to open a graph page, blank graph page in the beginning, or you can choose to start with without the graph page. So this is basically the page, the graph page where you get all the information. But before I do that, I go to the transforms. And if you go to the transforms hub, you can see that there are actually lots of APIs that you can use along with the Maltego. Some of them, they are like not free. Uh, for example, you can see here, there are some which are free. Excuse me, can you please switch off your mic? Whoever is there. Okay. So there are some of the APIs that are like, kind of, oh, whose mic is on? Ibtasam, can you please mute your mic? Ibtasam, can you mute your mic, please? Okay. So some of the APIs you can install. I don't recommend like too many because it will take some time. So, for example, you have the ones that I usually use is the virus total, for example. Then that should be there. At least the Shodan should be there. There is another one called Clearbit. Clearbit should be there. So, for example, if you want to include the Shodan, if you say install, yes. So it's basically asking you for the API key. So the API key, basically, you can register to the Shodan and you get a free API key, as you can see, the one that I have. I will just paste it here and say OK and finish. So I have actually installed the Shodan. And the same is for the virus total. You need to have an API to do that. I think for who is XML API, we don't need the API key. Just simply install it. Okay, this is also something that you should have, the Maltego. I think virus total is going to ask me for the key. I don't know virus total. Don't remember if I have. Anyways, I think I forgot the password. So all I'm just trying to show you here is that how you can basically add different APIs and you can work with them. So I have only installed Shodan for mine. You can install VirusTotal, but you need to create an account on VirusTotal to get the API, free API key. Okay. far side QD, the DNS. This is also something interesting. Should have. Okay. So let's go ahead and try to use whatever we have now. So I'll go back and open the graph. So I have actually two open now. So I will use this one only. And then you can go on the left-hand side here into the search option and use the domain. You can drag it and drop it into the graph. And as you can see, it says perturba.com. So basically here you can give the domain that you want to, perform a recon on this. It actually gives you a lot of details. So let's just change the domain name to, for example, what should I choose? Start.edu.pk. You can choose any domain. So basically, for your particular scenario, you can choose any domain because we're not attacking or launching any kind of attack on this domain. We're just doing reconnaissance, trying to get information about the domain. And then if I right click on this, you can see all the transforms that I have. There are not many that you can see it here. It's the reason because I didn't install many of the APIs. You can also run all of them, or you can try to run some of them. Like the Shodan API, for example, will give you detail about the DNS, IP, network details, and all that. So even if you want to run one by one, for example, you can do that. If I only want to run the Shodan, because I know that in the Shodan I can get information about the network details and service details and everything. So I can also run that. Or if I want to run all transforms, it basically gives and runs all the transforms which are available. So let me run all, and you can try with one by one rather than doing all of them together. So please accept the disclaimer. Okay. Not the settings. So in the beginning, it is asking me to, I think there should have been a setting for all. So I've actually run all the transforms. Probably it's going to give me a lot of details. It's a big domain, I think. That's why it keeps on going and going. I shouldn't have run all anyways. Well, this is the university where I was teaching before, when I was in Pakistan. So I'm just using their domain as a target. So as you can see here, for example, this was the parent domain, the nus.edu.pk. Still it's working, or it's done. Okay, so as you can see within this domain, they basically have a lot of other colleges and schools. So you can see NUS University of Sciences and Technology, PhD. There is SEEKS. This is the place where I was working. No, not this one. There was Military College of Signals where I was working. And you can see the subdomains. Let me show you. You can see the subdomains are also given here, like SPF.protection. Also, you can see the IP addresses of these. You can see this is the IP address. This is an IP address. This is an IP address. Also, you can see the DNS servers of this. So you have DNS1, ns3.nus.edu, and then you have ns1. All these domain name servers are there. You can also see the contact numbers are here. The reason why I'm getting so much information is because I just ran all the transforms. Usually that's not recommended. You go step by step and try to gather information about the domain, right? So, and then these are the subdomains also. You can see there is sme.mas.edu. There is, because most of the times the attackers, they're not looking to attack the main domain. They try to look for the subdomains, which are probably may have a lower level of protection. Also, you can see here that some of the emails also popped up, for instance, here, right? Uh, and then, for example, if I want to see if I can get the location, I think should be there. So I'm running a location transform on this IP address. And as you can see that this IP address is located in Islamabad. So I can further narrow down one by one if I'm looking for some specific information, right? So I mean, for the Maltego, the good thing about this is that you get all the information with the different tools that you work around with basically in one place. So it actually, these things that you are getting, you may have to use like 5 or 10 tools to get all this information. So rather than doing that, you can actually get all this information from one source, which is Maltego. Okay. So like I said, the graph is too big and there's too much information. If I log out, I mean, zoom out, it basically looks something like that. Okay, this is one thing that you can, work with the domain, for instance. Let me open a new graph for you. You can even search by person. So actually, if you are performing a reconnaissance on a person, you can actually use this in the palette and then name that person. Let's try to recon Shadi Morsi. And then let's see what we get.